What happens to clear, pristine, ever flowing water when one drop of ink is dropped into that glass? Well, notice the water is not agitated due to volume, but the color of it changes. This is my take on racism. So, you got little crafty, prepubescent kids from Santa Lucia's High School and Gainesville High School that want to viral their messages and minds on the sleeve, but can't find the right words to say. Please. I'm talking about racism. The one thing in this world that can only be created by those who want it. I don't know where people get it from. Our bloodlines, black, white, Jewish, Italiano, Brazilian, Mexican, Indian, doesn't necessarily matter. All of our bloodlines have been the iodine for great living with each other, but we just refuse to exploit it. So here's the way I see it. We may not have the same color, but the color of our blood is definitely the same. Find equality in that alone. That's it. Simple message from me. Let the blood of each other not being shed, but being shared. Let our blood be that iodine to stop racism, because I'm really tired of it. No, racism is not dead. It's not comatose. It's sleepwalking. Sleep talking. And sometimes we like to be a little bit subtle about it when we, profile others and talk about it, but, and when we like to aggrandize stereotypes. But I mean, that's what makes us different. If we were all the same type of people, if we were all the same, that would be one boring place to live. Our cultures might be different. Many of our advantages and disadvantages, even within education, because there are disadvantages. But it just takes the right people to read and to dispel those stereotypes. Because yes, our educations have been different. Yes. Ever since the board, ever since the South, ever since the North existed. Yes, different. And I might get in trouble for saying that, but who cares? Everything else is being viraled out here. I mean, I don't see why that would stop anybody now. Based on where we live and based on what color we are, yes, there are differences. But it doesn't matter when our blood is the same. The blood concocts love. That's the cocktail. Our cards that we are dealt depends solely on us. So when you see a whole lot of people in one particular race doing the same type of thing, and then you want to take it to your advantage being in a different race, go right ahead, but just know you're opening up something a lot worse than what you're asking for. It'd be best just to live and let live. We have to be afraid not to test. We have to not be afraid to test each other. We have to be afraid not to test each other in love. But racism bears no fruit. It's not loving. It's not endearing. It's clashes. So, anyhow, That's my simple message. You can have a glass of water that has been agitated by one piece of ink, or by one drop of ink, should I say. Racism is that ink. It puts a damper on what is. It puts a damper on what is. No, we do not have to exist together in this world. We have to live together. We're all here. Just when people think the simplest way to get rid of racism is to have sex with almost everybody until we're the same color, the fact that we don't even know our natural last names is enough that should actually scare you, because just because your skin color is different shouldn't suggest that we just might be cousins. That's kind of fearful for me, to know whether I'm whether I'm smashing my sister. That's not cool. I'm not going to think about that. The main thing which is important is that our blood is the same. Types might be unique, but the blood is the same. That's the only thing that we should exploit, being God's own. And that's it. Nothing less, nothing more. And thank you for all the kids at Gainesville and also at Santa Lucia's and everywhere else around the world that do not forefront racism as a good thing and never will. That's not the way you want to start off your lives, trust me. Particularly if you're going to have a job where you're working with a lot of us or a lot of others who are not like you. You don't want to start off your life like that. Hell, you've got like a lot of white folks who eat chicken. So I don't ever want to hear that that's all that we do. I mean, because everybody loves chicken. Come on now. And what kills me so much is that even in America, we have our different set type of Baptist churches, Presbytery, everything. And you see the remainder of people who come in. You might see a black church and a white church, and that there are so many differences. God did not want it to be this way. He did not intend it for that to be this way. And neither did Christ die for the same. No, he died that we would intermesh. And anyone else who says otherwise, they don't know the word. Our lines are deeper and run deeper than we think. So that's it. There might be a thin line based on what your monetary status is, your familiar status is, or whatever, in your families and stuff like that. But you better get to know somebody who's not of your race, because they could be an advantage to you in life, period. Learn from everybody. Continue to re-educate yourself in life. Don't think that you can ever learn too much or not enough. Love each other finally. Because quite frankly, there's going to come a time where we're all going to need each other anyhow. And quite frankly, I'd rather be stuck on an archipelago with Jose and Ryan and a couple of my ladies like Keisha and Li Zhang and a couple of other people who know how to swim off the archipelago than to be on my own sinking island. Crazy. I'll talk to y'all later. I'm tired.